it's Mo. It is a gloomy, rainy, kind of crummy day out, but tomorrow is my Booktube birthday, my 5-year Booktube birthday, and I've been putting this video off long enough. Usually I will do the Booktube birthday tag or the Booktube anniversary tag or some other Booktube anniversary tag that I've seen, and I did print out the questions. I also printed out a couple of questions that Jennifer Loves Books left me. I had mentioned it briefly in another video that if you wanted to leave me questions for this video, you could, but Jennifer, I think, was the only person who did. So I have those 2 questions. And then I have some reflections on the last 5 years that I wanted to bring up. So I think we'll start with Jennifer's questions and then we'll move on to that. Jennifer asked, what's your favorite video and why? And so I don't want all of these answers or all of this reflection to be negative, but I have probably some negative and some positive thoughts on my 5 years on Booktube that will come out in this video, and I feel like this question is one of them because I don't think I actually have a favorite video from the last 5 years. Like, I really love making videos, I really like editing, I really like to see my thoughts expressed, or I like to chronicle my life through making Booktube videos. So I have really enjoyed vlogging throughout time. I have really enjoyed doing different challenges. I have enjoyed being able to go back and look at old videos. I like tag videos. I like sit down videos. I like all of that, but like, I don't think I have a favorite video that I've made. And the negative part of that, the positive part is that I like everything, right? But the negative part of that is that I don't think I'm very good at making videos. Like, I don't think I'm super captivating. I know I'm not good at editing. Like, I know I don't really understand the dynamics of vlogging that much. I enjoy doing it, but it's one of those things that throughout my 5 years, every year for 5 years, I've said I would try to get better at making videos, try to be more confident, more personable, more myself on camera, which I think I have done a decent job of, but also try to just be a better filmer, a better editor, tried to vlog more dynamically, tried to do all of that kind of stuff. And I don't think I've ever really taken the time or put in the effort as much as I should have to do those things. I think part of those 5 years on Booktube, I've just been holding on, and that rings especially true for 2025. I was hoping that 2025 was going to be like a turnaround for me where I could really sink my teeth into Booktube, and I started out strong in the beginning of the year, but due to various things that have gone on and work schedule and life, it's hard to really commit to a lot of my hobbies and to anything, but also to my hobbies and even the things that I do like. So the answer to that question is I don't have a favorite video, and the reason why is because I don't think I'm very good at it. But the hopeful answer to that is that I still want to make videos. I like making videos and I like some of my own videos, but I would like to get better at it. The next question that she asked me was, how has Booktube influenced your reading? And this is a huge part of why I love Booktube and why I keep making Booktube videos and why I stay on Booktube. I could take the things that I've learned from Booktube and just read through them, and I could find online community somewhere else where I don't necessarily have to create something to be part of that community, or I could stay on Booktube but not make videos, right? But something that I love about Booktube is that it has influenced my reading, and it continues to influence my reading all the time. When I first started making videos, I wasn't reading that much. I had really wanted to get back into reading, but I wasn't reading that much. Now I'm reading over 150 books every year, so it's influenced me in that way. And not because I need to keep up with anyone, not because I want to read to make the numbers, but because I just enjoy reading, and I've created time for myself to read in my everyday routine. So that is definitely a way that Booktube has influenced my reading. Another way is that I'm reading more diversely than I ever have in my entire life. So I read a wide variety of genres that I never thought I would read. I read a wide variety of authors. I read books from different countries. I read translated works. Those are all things that maybe I did read before I started Booktube, but I didn't read them within as much intention. So yes, maybe I would read a translated book, or maybe I would read a book by a author of color, but it wasn't intentional, and it wasn't in response to the majority of books available to me being written by white Western men. And now it is. Like now, well, and Booktube influenced me for that to be in response to that, and to be cognitive of that, and to be intentional with my reading, to read from different cultures, to read from different languages, to read from different types of people. That's huge. And now we've had the swing where I don't need to be that intentional with it, because that is what I crave to read. I love to read translated works. I love to read queer works. I love to read works by people of color. I mean, if anything, works by white Western men don't hold the same appeal as they once did, you know? So I have moved past reading that. Not that I don't still read it, but it's not the only thing that I read. So that's a way that Booktube has influenced my reading. Booktube has influenced my reading because I talk more about my reading. So I am thinking more critically about the things that I read in a lot of ways. And I am putting what I read into a greater context in my life and in the world, which I think is huge. That's changed me not only as a reader, but as a person. So I love that I get that opportunity, and that I have a community to do that with, and that even if I don't get a lot of feedback, which I often do, Booktube has enabled me to have a conversation with myself about it and think about it in a different way, even when bouncing ideas off the camera, essentially bouncing ideas off myself. So I'm really grateful to Booktube for that, and I do love Booktube. And I think all of those things are like why I Booktube and why I keep Booktubing. So one thing, a kind of negative thing that I want to mention, is that I've been on Booktube for exactly 5 years. My first video was put up on October 13th, 2020. I was getting back into reading, and I was excited to join this community, and I had been lurking on the community for a long time. But now, 5 years later, I don't have much more of a role in the community than I originally did. I don't have a lot of followers. I have under 500 followers. I don't have a consistent Booktube routine. Obviously that's on me, but it means that I am not influential in the community as I would like to be. I don't answer my comments as much. I don't comment on other people's stuff as much. I definitely watch a lot of Booktube videos, but a lot of the times I watch them as like background. I am not able to create the more engaging content that I would like to have, because it's not obviously my full-time job. It's not something that I have a consistent routine in doing. I have, over those 5 years, tried to be more consistent. I have tried different tricks, and it's not that Booktube is not captivating. It's not that Booktube is not something I would love to do more full-time, or I would love to be more creative with, or spend more of my energy on, but I haven't been able to do that for one reason or another. One of the reasons I would say is that I don't have a lot of followers, that I don't have a lot of engagement. And to be clear, the people that do engage with me, the people who comment on my videos, I love you so much, and I am so grateful for you. Even if I don't get to respond quickly, I am always thinking about it. I am always reading your comments. I am always so happy and enriched by your comments, by knowing that you watch my video, by the view count, and knowing that someone out there is listening to what I say, and I'm not just screaming into the void. So I love my community that I have built. I wish that I could engage with it more. I want to engage with it more. If I had more engagement, if I was able to incorporate Booktube as a bigger part of my life, I think it would be easier to do those things. But I keep Booktubing despite those things because of the community that I do have, because of the people that I do know watch my videos, because of the friends that I've made on here, because I love other people's videos, and because I want to talk about books, and I want to put my ideas out there with all the other booktubers as well. And that kind of brings us to just the year that I've had. I've had my ups and downs. I think in 2023, 2024, I was really down on myself as a booktuber, and I was really struggling to see the point of it. But this year, even though it has been a year that has fluctuated greatly, my engagement, my ability to create booktube, my stamina for making and editing videos, my schedule for making and editing videos, I don't feel down on myself. Like, I don't feel like it's all for nothing. I feel good in a lot of ways about where I am with booktube, even though I would, of course, ideally love to see growth, and I would like to put more effort into booktube. But my year has been crazy, as I'm sure most people's have. This has been a year that's made it extremely hard to feel positive about anything in life. It's a year that has made it hard to feel engaged with the people around me, let alone the people on booktube. It's a year that has made me question why we do anything, and does anything really matter, and what's the point? And I'm sure a lot of you feel that way as well. But the point is the community. The point is the creative process. The point is the voicing of ideas and the sharing of ideas, the sharing of experiences, and the listening to other people's experiences, the listening to other people's ideas. So I think booktube is a great example of why we should go on, and why we should gather our community around us, and why we should utilize this space and this privilege that we have to be able to talk about things and ideas and feelings, even if it's just as a form of entertainment. And I'm always hopeful that in years to come and in the future, I will be able to get better and do more and engage more and be more present and creative, extend my abilities and my skills in booktube. And of course, to read a lot of good books, to read books that are relevant and important, and to read books that are entertaining and fun. I think everybody who joins YouTube has a secret hope that they will get more engagement, that they will be able to utilize YouTube as, if nothing else, a part-time job, right? Or get something else besides just the making of videos out of booktube, whether that's through their community, or whether that's through sponsorship, or whether that's through AdSense. Everyone who puts something on YouTube, and I think especially booktube, because you're not only making videos, you're reading books, you're watching book videos, you're staying engaged with the community, the larger community of books, maybe by reading the Booker Prize, or maybe by following bookish news, or maybe by engaging with local bookstores. I think everybody would love to see a return on that that's like a little more tangible. Some people want to blow up and be big superstars. Some people want to make a couple of extra bucks. Some people want to get free items. Some people want to be able to review items that they wouldn't otherwise be able to get their hands on, but through this medium, they're able to do that, right? So I am definitely one of those people. It's not my main overall goal to like blow up on YouTube, but wouldn't it be nice if I made a little bit more money and was able to put a little bit more time and energy and effort into my booktube channel? And money does allow us to do those things, whether that again is through AdSense and it's like physical money, or whether that's through sponsorships, or whether that's through getting free stuff for review from various places. So I thought it would be fun to talk about like some of the sponsors that I would love, or some of the products I would like to work with, or some of the companies that I would like to work with, some of the like tangible things that I would love to see if my booktube were bigger. Again, I'm happy with where I am in booktube right now, but of course I would always like it to grow. So I think the first thing is like book of the month, aardvark books, book subscriptions. Being a person who doesn't buy new books very often, being a person who doesn't buy anything, new clothes, new furniture very often, because I do believe in a recyclable, reusable system, and because I do try to live as waste-free a life as I possibly can. Yes, I would love to work with Book of the Month, but I don't necessarily believe in new books being made all the time. Now, New books have to be made all the time. We need books. We're readers. We want to read. So I think that if I knew that a book subscription box like Aardvark or like Book of the Month was as sustainable as they possibly could be, was using recycled materials, was donating to sustainable action or schools or adult literacy programs or things like that, I would love to work with them. I would love to see new books being made, but books going where they need to go. Or maybe if there was a book subscription that part of their proceeds went to funding libraries or funding adult literacy programs or anything like that. Like, I think that would be a subscription that I would really love to work with. It's also something that I would like to support. So if anybody knows of anything like that, let me know. Side note, while I was in Ohio, one of my favorite bookstores closed down, and it is the Bookshelf of Ohio, and the proceeds of the used bookstore goes to adult literacy. So now there's only 2 locations. So if you live in Ohio or if you know people in Ohio, tell them to go to the Bookshelf. There's still one in Medina, and I don't know where the other location is. I've been to that one too, but try to go there. Try to support them. They're doing a good job. Even something like bookshop.org, which part of the proceeds go to local indie bookstores, is a good example of this. But if anybody knows of any others, I would love it if you left them in the comments below. If you know of any subscription boxes that some of the proceeds go to organizations or to things like that, I would love to know. And I would love to have that kind of sponsorship or that kind of review deal with someone like that. Along those same lines, I would love to have sponsorship or to have review deals with zero waste, because I would love to see more intersection between Booktube and zero waste. I think that books can be and are incredibly sustainable. Not only do they teach us about sustainability and about topics in maybe nonfiction books, but there's also so many things in the world, so many books in the world, so there's always used books to be had. So I think zero waste and books and used bookstores can go hand in hand. And I would love to see more sustainability on Booktube as far as what people do too. I don't really understand that people are so well read and read so much about the environment, read so much about society, read so much, even if it's fiction, even if it's sci-fi, and not come to the conclusion that they themselves have a responsibility to be more sustainable. So I would love to see sustainability and Booktube become closer friends. So in that vein, I would love a sponsorship or review deal with sustainable companies. And I do know that some booktubes do use sustainable companies for this, or do reviews for sustainable companies. So I would love to see that, and I would love to be a part of that. My favorite zero waste store online, which was Mighty Nest, recently closed down. That was a great website where you could buy multiple different things. You could buy toiletries and things in the bathroom. You could buy cleaning products. You could buy kitchen products. You could buy food. You could buy pet supplies, all those kind of things. And they were all from different companies, but with the same sustainable mission. So again, I loved that website. I'm so sad that it's gone, but that would have been my all-time dream sponsorship. If I could have been sponsored by them. I would love to be sponsored by some of the companies that sold through them. I would love to be sponsored by any kind of like sustainable companies, because I would love to spread their message. Also, my channel is a lot about cats, so I would love to see like an intersection between Booktube, sustainability, and cats. So I would love to be sponsored or do brand reviews for sustainable cat things, because I think cat people and book people have a lot in common, and I think sustainability when having cats is really hard. So I would love to be a conduit to teach more people how to do that through my Booktube channel. And those are like my top 3 things. Some kind of books, yes. Some kind of sustainability, yes. And some kind of cats. Those are the things that I would really love to have brand deals, love to have sponsorship, love to do reviews for. But a reminder that if I ever get the chance to do reviews, if I ever get a chance to be sponsored, I would only ever do that for companies that I truly believed in. I would only ever promote things that I used myself. I would only ever recommend things that I think are good for the world and the book community and the cat community. Kind of hand in hand with that ideal of an ideal booktube life, of an ideal YouTube existence, would be what I would do if I made money, if I ever make money on Booktube. What would I do with the money? And I think the first thing that I would do was invest in the channel. That would be investing in different equipment. I would love to have a vlogging camera, like an Osmo or one of those little baby cameras that you could take around with you so that I could feel more comfortable doing that. It's not exactly equipment, but I would love to invest in classes to better myself and to be a better booktuber. I would love to take Carrie Cake's vlogging classes. I would love to take a Procreate class to make better thumbnails and to make things for within my videos. So educating myself, I think, would be a big thing. Getting equipment would be a big thing. I would love to invest in a better mic, because right now I only use my camera mic and the sound is not always great, so I would love my videos to have better sound. I would love to learn how to edit better, so any kind of software that I could use would be a great investment. And then I think another big investment that if I made a little bit of money or a lot of money on Booktube would be time. I think if I were making money at Booktube, I would feel more comfortable devoting more time to it, and I think it would make it feel more like a job, which is both good and bad, but I would want to utilize the time that that money paid me for in a better way. So I think by making a little bit of money or a lot of money on Booktube, I could invest more time in the channel and just making videos and filming videos and editing videos. And then finally, I would love, if I made money on Booktube, to take a portion of the money that I made, donate it in some capacity. Probably to some kind of book-related charity or some kind of indie bookstore charity or some kind of literacy charity, but also I would definitely consider donating to LGBTQIA+ charities. And I think making money and knowing that I want to set aside part of that for donation surrounding Booktube in some way could influence me to come up with some really creative things to donate money to. I think the normal answer for how someone would spend the money that they make on Booktube would be to buy more books, right? Because that's what the channel's based on, that's what they love to do, that's why they're on Booktube. But I have a lot of books, so it's not my first answer, certainly, and I think if it were going to be part of the money that I earned and the money that I spent, I would want it to go to like indie bookstores. So maybe something that I would be able to do would be to do content on going to more indie bookstores and voting with my dollar and patronizing places that I want to see stay open. So what's next for my Booktube? What's next for my year 6 on Booktube? I don't really know. I mean, all of those things. I would love to get better and be a better booktuber. I would love to get more educated by taking classes. I would love to become a better vlogger. I would love to have any kind of proficiency at making thumbnails and editing and doing all those things. And that's something that I say every year, and I've said for the last 5 years, and I probably will say every year, but will I have the time to devote that? I mean, maybe, maybe not, who knows? A lot depends on what happens over the next coming years. A lot depends on where I am with my regular job and what's going on with that. A lot depends on my mental health. So I don't really know what's next for the long term over the next year or over many years, but I do know that I do want to keep making Booktube videos. I do know that I want to keep reading. I do know that I want to, even if it's step by step, even if it's baby steps, to grow my community and to become a better booktuber. And then my dream would be, of course, to do all those things, to be a better booktuber, to be better at my community, to be there for my community more, and get a tangible result from that, which would be a higher viewership, which would be maybe money. I would love to devote more time to Booktube. So my dream, of course, would be to be a full-time content creator, to read all day, to make videos, devote all my time instead of to a regular job, a real job, to being a content creator. I think that's secretly everyone's goal in a little part of them. You know, maybe not their whole goal, maybe not their grand ambition, but a little part would be like, wouldn't it be great if I blew up on Booktube? Wouldn't it be great if I could read and travel and make videos for a living? And I do feel that way as well. Do I think it will happen? Am I putting all my eggs in that basket? Definitely not. And I'm definitely the kind of person who I like to work, and I like my job, and I like doing the other things that I do, other hobbies, other activities. So I wouldn't necessarily want to only do Booktube. I wouldn't necessarily want that to be my only income, but it would be nice if I got a little more of the more tangible rewards from Booktube too. But like I said, thank you so much for watching my videos. Thank you for 5 years. Thank you for putting up with my ups and downs mental health wise, my ups and downs schedule wise, my ups and downs with how I feel about Booktube. I am in a really good Booktube place, I think. I am in a fantastic reading place, and I hope you enjoy my Booktube channel. I know this video is more about Booktube than it is about reading, but I hope that my channel has a good balance of life and reading, of Booktube and reading, of sustainability and reading, and I hope you enjoy it. So please let me know if you have any comments or questions or ideas about anything that I've said in this video. Please let me know how you're doing just in life, in the year, with your Booktube journey, with your career journey, with any of that in the comments below. I would love to have a conversation. Thank you for 5 years on Booktube. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!